Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Jason Leroy from Jason Leroy. This is, um, I am the not only main character but now the co-star of today's video, which we're going to be talking about Lego Batman 3, or just Lego games in general, because we're trying to get more into them. This is my brother.
Hi, I'm Cyrus Leroy.
Yeah. This is not our real names. You'll never know our real names. As in, bring up the original introduction, as in, I don't want to give anything off on the internet because privacy is the currency of the internet. So, I am very happy to announce that first, my microphone is kind of a little broken there, so I'll have to get one of the new things, but I also just broke it. That's unfortunate. I have some new figures to review, as in I got the Hulk line Hasbro Marvel Legends Abomination, which I have some words for. Articulation's pretty good, but it doesn't come with hands, but Abomination figures have never come with hands, so that's an issue. I still need to do that Frieza review, which is unfortunate, but I'm just not feeling up to it. I don't remember if I did the Goku Black or not. I just ate Bullock Rum, and I'm still gonna eat Bullock Rum, so I might be stained a little orange. So, we were just talking. It is 5:38 a.m., and we were just talking about, starting a podcast. We're probably not going to do that for a little while, but, or at all, probably. We'll see about that. But we were talking about just recording a video together. And one of the videos that we were thinking about was talking about Lego games. Some ideas were thrown out, talking about reviewing Lego Batman 3, since we were both getting into that. I'm actually not even finished with the main story, but I played it in its completion before. And so I can talk about it. And we have both gotten into Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 and Lego Marvel Superheroes 1, so Cyrus wanted to compare the different capabilities between the two adaptations of the Marvel Universe made by TV Games, which a lot of people, there's also Lego Marvel Avengers, but we can see how it peaked and then fell. A lot of people agree with that take, where they don't like Lego Marvel Avengers. Let me phrase. They do not like Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, mostly because of the Lego level design. I know the Lego YouTuber on the fellow platform is Rugged Eagle, who does not like the game because of the level design. He might like the game, but he's not a fan of the level design. I also think that they might be a little bit repetitive or annoying to go through, and just drags on until you get to the free world, which is Chronopolis, which is even smaller than the previous given superheroes of just New York and Avengers. You're expecting something really big with New York, Malibu, Sokovia, I believe, Shield, Barton's Farm, maybe a few others, possibly.
They might have had Asgard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Asgard too.
Yeah, they had Asgard.
Yeah, I think that we could all agree that going from multiple hub areas to Chronopolis was not a welcome decision. Chronopolis is such an amazing idea, and Kang the Conqueror is one of my favorite villains of the Avengers because I love Iron Lad. However, I do not like the way that they went through his character. Even in Lego Marvel Avengers 2, when you unlock Kang, he does not have time manipulation abilities, but that's his whole thing.
He's kind of shy.
He is a little bit of a cannibalistic humanoid underwater dweller, or underground dweller. I'm not sure of the entire phrase from the Tej series. Yeah. Sarah, would you like to say? Would you like to say anything about the Lego? Specifically, your idea on the fall from Lego Marvel Adventures and Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 to Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
immediately, we start out with a very great level design, character roster, character.
In Lego Marvel Super Superheroes.
That's why I said we start out with. Character design in Lego Marvel Superheroes. Personally, I really like the Thing and Captain America level where you fight Magneto and Rhino. I really like the X-Men level.
That was the level where, right before you were on, what's it called?
The expansion one.
No, the Thing in Captain America that was on right before the one where you fight Magneto on top of Asteroid M.
Yeah. So, then there's the MODOK in fighting AIM one was always really good.
I've always liked fighting MODOK. I think I've always been a fan of MODOK.
I hated how they did Doctor Doom though. Doctor Doom is one of my favorite Marvel characters, and they just kind of did him dirty. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they were able to take his egoism and god complex, or savior complex rather, into a comical way, and I feel like sometimes they took that too much as he ended up the butt of the joke, as modern day Doom has aura, as you can call it, and
Yeah.
sometimes that is failed to represent the character correctly. Sorry. In the first Lego game.
Yeah, so like I said, great. So there is like a great map design with the side missions, the integrated boss fights with Curse, Red Hulk, and the Sentinels. I would say the bonus missions are very hit or miss. You know, there's a lot of good ones, like the Thor versus the Dark Elves one.
I did also like the one with Howard the Duck and Vulture.
Yeah, that
as well
was
as
pretty good.
Electro and Shocker.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that one. I really like that one. I was a bit disappointed by the Doctor Strange one though. I remembered the Lego Marvel Avengers Doctor Strange DLC mission as the Lego Marvel Superheroes DLC or bonus mission, and I was kind of disappointed when I figured out that it wasn't it. So.
Well, I haven't done it yet. I only have 38 gold bricks. You need like 150, so
yeah, you need 125.
Yeah, you need to get up on there a little bit.
But like I said,
It's been 8 minutes.
Pretty much great things about Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Not
Dr.
only,
Doom.
I have a few. Sorry, I have a few gripes with it. I don't like the flying mechanics. I find them a little hard to control. I also think that the vehicles move just a little too fast, and they're also hard to control. And while the character design is a little too simple for my liking, I can understand how other people might find it as a plus for the game, while I don't like the graphics and how it is just a little too... I prefer more detailed designs, even in things like Lego inspired designs of 2D games.
Then we got Lego Marvel Avengers, or Lego Avengers. I don't know what it's like. You know.
I do believe that Lego Avengers was one of the best Lego games I've ever played. Probably right next to Lego Batman 2. And although it's not many people's or some people's favorite, I always did like Lego DC Supervillains as well. But Lego Avengers always has held a special place in my heart because it was one of the first Lego games where I can remember playing the first time around. I've always just enjoyed the experience, as well as just going around every hub world and collecting every character token, and playing as select characters that you wouldn't see in most other media, like Gorilla Girl. Egghead appears a lot in a lot of things, unfortunately. But
Okay.
he's like a gripe of my eyes.
Okay. I personally really like Lego Marvel Avengers because, of course, Ultron's like the main villain. And I love Ultron. I always have. Age of Ultron's one of my favorite MCU movies just because of that. And I think they did a really good job at adapting the MCU films in Lego. Of course, like there's a comedic aspect, but then there's the like wonderful scenes that they got almost completely right with the Ultron Undone level, the level where they are in Sokovia, I believe it is, and they are fighting against all of the Ultron bots with Scarlet Witch just joining the team. That's probably one of my favorite and most, like, that's one of my favorite levels and, like, the bane of my existence. It took me 30 minutes to get all the mini kits for that level.
I see. I will say, one thing that does surprise me about you is that as much as you are a fan of Ultron, one of your favorite Marvel villains, you are not particularly the most careful for Hank Pym. I've always thought that was a little odd. I've always liked Hank Pym. I never like the direction a lot of media goes, especially the Ultimates, where they go with Hank Pym, especially with his relationship with Janet Van Dyne. I've always thought that was a little annoying, honestly. Like, if you're not aware, Hank Pym is a representative of the bipolar community, and I feel a little drawn to that character, and I've always liked how some things, especially Marvel, can take just a simple idea like changing your sides and be able to turn it into its own character. That's so important to the overall Marvel storyline, and I just don't like it when they make him beat his wife, I think.
Fair point. I think the Nanoverse is extremely compelling and interesting. A very unique and not very thought of way of expressing a different universe that's just out of our grasp. But
may I add on to that? As much as I like the microverse and the nanoverse, especially the microverse is look in MCU, amazing CGI. Making Kang, back on Kang, making Kang a villain of the microverse was an indirect way of saying that Kang is going to be the MCU's smallest villain ever.
I don't even want to get started on Kang from the MCU. Somehow they made the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 Kang.
I made it even worse.
Look like
he did have really good. His lines were really well, like that one line when Ant-Man is like, he says the Avengers are coming, and then and Kang was like, sorry, I almost talked about The Last Airbender. Kang was like, "You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" The line delivery really sent chills down my spine, I guess you could say. That movie of Ant-Man Quantumania was probably the
Ant-Man
worst.
and the Wasp.
Really, was it?
I believe.
I'm not aware. I don't think the Wasp was really in that movie as much. I remember Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, or Ant-Man and Ant-Man Quantumania. I never really liked that. Like the viewing situation of my first viewing of it. I was holding on to my hopes for the MCU. They ruined MODOK in front of my own eyes. Massacred my boy. Ruined. Not ruined, but after knowing what I knew about Kang's presence, or lack thereof, in the MCU, after watching the movie make so many now empty promises of the entire Kang dynasty, especially the end credit scene with Immortus, which I was so excited to see. It just was very disappointing for me as a Marvel fan, especially of the main two villains of that movie. I swear I almost cried when I saw MODOK.
He was pretty ugly.
seeing his buttocks was was definitely an experience that I will comment on
say
that.
the only funny joke in the entire movie, in my opinion, is the bridge scene where MODOK, like, for some reason, like snaps out of it and attacks, like,
The only
Kangs.
funny joke.
Hold on. And then the Ant-Man's daughter goes, or no, hold on. MODOK goes, "Am I Avenger? Am I an Avenger?" And then the Wasp or the Ant-Man's daughter goes,
Cassie Lang.
"Yuppie, you made it." That's the funniest joke because they really, really think that they did something with that.
I think the hardest I've laughed at the entire movie was after I watched that one scene with the guy and he's like gooey and he's like, he was like, how many holes do you have?
Oh my God.
And then the one guy who could like read minds, he was like, yes, I can read minds. Please stop thinking that. That's so disgusting. I think these side characters were very hilarious, especially the MCU really did well with side character humor.
Talking about side character humor,
Louise,
tangent. No.
not a side character, but generally the funniest character. In
Louise, very, very funny.
Louise, yeah.
Talking about like another thing. I know that you didn't watch this movie. He-Man, Masters of the Universe. The side characters were so funny. There's a scene where they're fighting. So they're fighting Skeletor's army, right? And then I forgot his name. Fisto goes, "Give him head, Ram Man." That was like, that literally made me crack up in the theater. I was like cackling.
Yeah, everybody laughed.
But back on Lego
I am
Marvel
actually a little
Superheroes.
long tangent. I am very disappointed that I wasn't able to see the Thunderbolts movie purely of my own design. I've heard that the Sentry was an amazing character, and that I would have loved Bob in it.
Thunderbolts is in my like top 5 of MCU films. I think I just like it when they dive deeper into like the mental health aspect of Marvel, because a lot of people forget about the mental health aspect.
Sentry has always been an amazing testament to bipolar disorder and just mental health in general. A lot of people mistake him for having dissociative identity disorder, and I denounce those people.
There's Ant-Man, there's the Hulk, there's
Hank Pym's Ant-Man.
Yeah, Hank Pym's Ant-Man. There's the
Hulk is an amazing. I am recently especially a fan of his.
Winter Soldier, I'd say. Spider-Man, you know.
In some, yes.
Sometimes,
in some, he's kind of just annoying, but
sometimes Wolverine, you know, depending on the story. But I would say
I think the X-Men as a large are really good.
Of course, with the tie-ins to the real world.
Yes. I will say the G-Phil, I don't know, it is an incident on a Kitty Pryde's character. I didn't know what it was originally. I saw the term be slung around to be an insult to Kitty Pryde fans. I was like, I don't know what that is. So I looked it up, and TikTok's AI platform, well, not the AI platform, its AI response, said that it was, if you're not aware, in the old comics, a black kid calls Kitty Pryde a mutie, which is a mutant slur in the Marvel Universe. Kitty Pryde says, G-Phil, which was the kid's name, I don't know, when did that make you a, and then the end slur. Hard R, I believe. I did not see the original comic. But to compare fictional discrimination against real-world hatred is okay in my mind until you bring it into the same space and try to compare the two. Because mutants do not exist. Mutants are not a discriminated race in our world. We can talk about if they would be. However, that's purely hypothetical. Black people have been oppressed for centuries. So, it's a little hard to say, it's a little hard to be a Kitty Pryde defender on that one.
Yeah,
I would say so.
I
would also say that, back on me loving the Hulk, the Maestro has gotten up on my favorite Marvel villains list.
The thing is, with the Hulk, I love the Hulk. I think the Hulk is a great DID representative and just a great like childhood trauma / PTSD.
Especially with just, obviously the most obvious is anger issues, but
Yeah, of course.
just from someone who has struggled from anger issues, how it feels to be in that like situation and just feel like an entirely different person. It is an amazing depiction of just mental health in general.
I hate the power scaling Hulk though. I don't like World War Hulk.
I love the World War Hulk.
I like World War Hulk because of Scar. That's it. Other than that, I like the idea of him going to Sakaar. That's cool. Don't like how they did it. Do not like that. I do like no, I do not like World Breaker Hulk. I don't like Hulk kills the or
that
Hulk
never
smashes everything, which is I feel like I believe is a rather new comic, but I don't like the world or the power scaling Hulk.
I think that something that you have to take into account is that those are certain instances where the Hulk becomes extra strong thanks to certain aspects. However, the original, well, not the original, but the general Hulk is not that strong. Yes, it does become annoying when you have to deal in all of that when power scaling him against another character that they may be putting in a hypothetical battle, such as Superman, which is a fight that's been going on for as long as the characters have existed themselves. But I think that I do disagree with the hatred of the power scaling because I feel like in some aspects it is annoying, but I feel like it has been executed, in my opinion, correctly more than it has been executed incorrectly.
I would say the reason I hate it so much is because for some reason I get this vibe of that they don't really care about the mental health aspect version of Hulk, or just in my opinion what Hulk should be about. Like I know Hulk Gray is one of the best Hulk books ever. It's a comic. It's either a comic series or a comic. Like what's it called? A trade paperback or something like that, where it basically dives into the Hulk as a character. It's a great introduction piece for the Hulk and Bruce Banner in general. I just think that reducing a character such as Hulk or Superman for that matter to power scaling ruins the character for everybody, especially those people who are supposed to see a piece of themselves in the character.
I would say that you have an outsider look on the Hulk. From an inside look at the Hulk, the power scaling has never really been an issue of mine because first I understand how I'm not fully understanding how gamma works, but I can understand how a being uses how gamma radiation and just gamma in general works in the Marvel universe, and how it has like all these layers and how it's just so different from our world, especially like She-Hulk using it to literally break the fourth wall, and using that and say, okay, the Hulk is theoretically an extremely strong character, and then putting that hypothetical situation into a realistic comic in the universe, I would say I can get behind that. However, when you go ahead and you grab General Hulk, without the aspects making him stronger, like in many of the stories that we've read listed, and state that he can take on beings like Galactus on his own, that is where I have an issue. Because he's been shown to throw hands with characters such as the Thing, and maybe even at times Juggernaut and Colossus, who cannot take on Galactus by themselves. But I feel like everyone has their own opinion when it comes to Hulk's power scaling.
Yeah, I forgot that we were supposed to be talking about Lego Marvel Superheroes.
I'm just gonna name this thing different than Lego Marvel Superheroes. This is just about nerd.
Yeah, fair.
Talk so far.
But I would say that back on like the original thing, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 was kind of just a letdown for multiple reasons.
I wouldn't even say that it's... When you take in the factor of a bad game, you can say, okay, Lego Batman 1 is a bad game compared to Lego Marvel Supervillains, because Lego Marvel Supervillains has a more incomplex character design, complex character... Yeah, complex everything, really.
And it has voices.
Yeah, as well as voice acting. However, Lego Batman 1 is such a good game because for the time... Sorry. It was glamorous, especially with Lego games like a Harry Potter and Indiana Jones and the Star Wars Lego games coming out at that time. And just seeing the original 2 Lego Marvel games, and then just seeing Lego Marvel Superheroes be put out as a sequel to Lego Marvel Superheroes, and as the predecessor, not as a direct sequel or even maybe in the same universe, but as something that comes after in terms of gaming space, Lego Marvel Avengers. It's not only a bad game, it's simply disappointing, which I think makes it a worse game.
I mean, in the fact of Kang's overall story, neither Iron Lad or Immortus were in
Iron
Lego.
Lad, Immortus, Victor Timely, none. Like, they didn't even, they had Egypt. They could have done, I believe his name is Ramen Tut, but do not quote me on that.
It's so aggravating when you think of what Kang could be and what Kang was in the comics. Kang has been getting like the bad part.
The cold shoulder from Marvel for a little while now, from Marvel Media.
With the MCU and of course with the MCU most of it was
the thing with the MCU is that the potential was so amazing. While yes, they literally had Ant-Man beat Kang, they could have fixed that plot by saying, you just fought the weakest form of Kang throughout the entire multiverse. Here is a worse Kang to fight.
I would say...
He could be a Doom and Thanos level threat.
I would say... They probably imagined that Kang was going to be in Doctor Doom's current role.
I do imagine that they had bigger plans for the Kang Dynasty, but the controversy with the actor, I do believe, did not do good for the Kang role. I do mourn the idea of us seeing an Iron Lad actor in the MCU. Maybe next time in the MCU, if they reboot, if another Kang movie comes out, we can see another Iron Lad, but I doubt that for a little while. I also doubt that we will ever see an Iron Lad in a Lego game. Speaking of that, I remember being 7 years old and looking up Lego Marvel Avengers. I was not 7, I was like a little bit older, but like Lego Marvel Superheroes 3, and looking at fandom creations of the game and being disappointed that there has still been no official news on the production or even cancellation of an idea of a game. I still believe that it's still an open-ended thing, as in they still think that they're gonna make one, but it's been so long. My only hope is that it is the GTA 6 treatment, where it has been a long time since we've seen it. However, when it's here, it is going to blow our minds away, knock our socks off.
I will say the newest Lego game,
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
I've heard it's beautiful.
I have played the first 15 to 30 minutes of it. It is amazing.
I bet.
I
I am surprised that they go with the smaller character roster. However, I am being reminded of the smaller character roster from the first Lego Batman game, which brings up the idea, is this going to be the last Lego Batman game and the wrap-up for the Lego Batman franchise? I do believe that we might see another Lego DC supervillains because of the Anti-Monitor teaser at the end of that game, but it could be wrap-up for the Lego Batman franchise. 1, 2, 3, Beyond Gotham, and Legacy of the Dark Knight, which I do not believe is in the same universe, but it can be.
It is extremely hinted at in Lego DC Supervillains. I have seen some things about it.
Lego DC Supervillains is in the same universe, or Legacy of the Dark Knight?
Well, I don't think Legacy of the Dark Knight is in the Lego Batman.
We are
unaware. It isn't completely impossible.
Because the story does just go over, well, we do see Dick Grayson in the original Lego game, and we see him as Nightwing in. So
we see Dick Grayson as Nightwing in Lego Batman.
That is
1.
also as well.
So if Lego Batman,
it is possible.
Legacy of the Dark Knight came before Lego Batman 1. That would
which
be
chronologically cool. It probably would, because it deals with the creation, and Ra's al Ghul is already a character established in both games.
So yeah,
it is entirely possible.
The charts.
I wouldn't say that it is probable, but it is possible. Lego DC Supervillains, I do believe, is part of the Lego Batman game. However, Lego Batman franchise. However, I do believe that it will become its own franchise with further installations. My thing is that I am not hanging on hope for another Lego DC game. While I, obviously will play every Lego DC game, DC does not hold as much heart, as much of a place in my heart as Marvel does. I don't think it ever will. It's just different. I pray for Lego Marvel Superheroes 3. I wish on a coin for Lego DC Supervillains 2.
I assume.
I remember wondering if they were ever going to make a Lego Marvel Supervillains, and I will say
that would be amazing.
I will say one thing: I do not think that the villains of Lego Marvel Supervillains hypothetical game would be as iconic as.
Well,
I always thought that the DC villains have been a little more.
Well,
iconic.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
it could not only introduce a bunch of the lesser-known villains, but there are some pretty big hitters. There's the Sinister Six, Brotherhood of Mutants, depending on the story. There's Doctor Doom, Thanos, Loki, Enchantress.
I believe.
Hydra.
If they were to make a game like that, Doom or Thanos would be the main villain, like Darkseid is. Galactus might also be a main villain contender for that.
Could be.
I would like to see Mole Man in a game.
What I think would be cool is the story sets place during Lego Marvel Superheroes 3, where if they
phone for me, please.
yeah, sure. So if they are working on stopping Thanos, then they could the Lego Marvel Supervillains 1 could be all about the villains trying to pick up the slack that the heroes have because they're on different planets trying to stop Thanos, trying to collect all the Infinity stones, all that. So
that is fair. That's also possible. May I show some SH Figure Arts news?
Yeah, sure.
I usually talk about this stuff on my own, but my brother's heart has been getting a little bit into action figures. So, I'll just show you the teasers for some of them. Try it. Okay. There's a lot of Hello Kitty ones. My apologies. This is one of the new ones. Saint Cloth Myth X Goddess Athena. It does look interesting.
Very nice Athena. Kind of a weird face, though.
Yes, but that's also just because it's a weird face anime. You cannot see that. Okay, well, just look it up. It does look intriguing. I shall say that.
Ooh, go back up.
That is a Kamen Rider.
Ooh, interesting.
We have some Ultramen.
I do like Ultraman. The Ultraman movie, the newest one, I loved it.
They are going to be releasing more JJK figures. Teasers coming soon, and I am particularly excited about that. They already announced some.
I would love to see a Yuta figure. Yuta is my favorite character.
Yuta?
Mm-hmm. Yuta.
The bum?
You mean the bum?
The bright guy, right? Yeah, the bum.
How is he a bum?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm not finished with JJK, so...
Yeah, the bum.
How is he a bum?
It's a fan base thing.
He's extremely...
They have
capable.
made 2 Yuta figures.
Cool. Continue.
One of...
Ooh, is that Shanks?
That is Shanks, from Marineford.
He was so cool in Marineford.
I do not doubt that. There's
Ooh,
Sun.
Sam Wilson.
So
So, no actual, like, images, though.
No, none of that. Thor, which
I
don't like
think...
the Doomsday. I don't like that Doctor Doom.
Here, just show me a bit. Like, yeah, go in it.
It's not my favorite.
I don't like the face plate, but other than that, I like it.
I'm not a big fan of the cloth paper.
And I do think that it will probably
Dark
come
Deku.
with different I
am excited for Dark Deku.
MHA.
I see. There should be a little more JJK. We're gonna have a battle attack. I believe, like, whatever is the strong form Frieza is. I'm not a Dragon Ball fan. Oh, Psylocke. Look at that. Pretty nice. Pretty excited for that one as well. You know, obviously, I'm a Marvel fan. I am a fan of Capcom versus Marvel. Choso.
Oh, I love Choso.
Yeah, Choso.
My favorite JJK character is definitely either Yuta or Choso.
So, half of the fan base hates you and the other one, and most of the fan base loves you. What?
Let's wrap this up.
Oh, I apologize. Wrap what up? The video? Okay. Why?
I don't know.
Well, it's been an amazing time with you guys. Sorry for just kind of nerding out for a little bit.
I apologize. What?
Say goodbye.
Well, goodbye, guys. I am glad that I got to be on here and hope, to be in more videos.